This year, we welcome our new theater teacher, Mr. Wade. We here at MBTV sat down to interview him about his career and how he's adapting to his new role.
What is theater? Theater is a deliberate performance put on by live actors for a live audience, usually scripted, but not always. Could always have improv. But if we're talking about the purpose of theater, then we're talking bigger than that. It's a pretty simple definition. We're talking about that theater is storytelling and that it is truth-seeking, that it is self-finding, that it is world-expanding, and all those things. So it's hard to encapsulate exactly what theater is into a very simple thing. You got to keep it pretty broad, but theater is delight, and theater is education as well.
What got you interested in teaching a theater class?
Prior to teaching, I was a performer. The reality is that I gained a lot from my theatrical education and from the world that I lived in during that time. And I just love the process of watching students grow, not only on stage, but off stage as well. But especially just the growth from the beginning to the end of the year and beyond that as well. It's incredibly rewarding to see those light bulbs go off and to see those minds really grasp the information and to be able to apply it and develop themselves as actors, but also as individuals, human beings outside of the theater world, regardless of whether they go on to continue it after school or not.
How do you start teaching? What was your first job when it comes to teaching?
First job was at Clayton High School, which is where I came from. It's where I was before coming to Broughton. I got into teaching I always kind of thought that was where I was going to go when I was done performing, was into the education sector. As I mentioned, I performed for almost 2 decades, primarily in musical theater and kind of everywhere, all over the place, regionally, national, international tours, cruise ships, Disney, off-Broadway. So I had a lot of experience in the performance side of things. When COVID hit, they pulled us, as I just mentioned, off that tour, the Simon & Garfunkel story, and then said, hey, we're going to come back in 2 months, and we didn't come back in 2 months, and hey, we're going to come back 2 more months. We didn't come back, and as you know, and most people know, that went on for longer than people expected. And we ended up having our first child, which was awesome. But at that point, I was not interested in being away for 6 months out of the year. So I decided to apply for the position over at Clayton High School. Unfortunately, I was blessed enough to receive that position, and that's where I've been. And now I'm here at Broughton, which I'm super excited for. I'm super excited to be a part of this program and the history here and the quality of student and the student body. So I'm really looking forward to it.
It's clear that Mr. Wade brings a fresh perspective and enthusiasm to our theater program. This fall's The Crucible is a good start for a great year of theater. Jacob Darlington, NBTV.